You know, it's a beautiful day when you're right.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for joining us. It's already started, Dan.
Shannon, get him!
Oh, Lord, have mercy.
Y'all think you're gonna jump me?
Us.
You solo on that mission, bub.
Actually, that's not true. I show up to work.
Don't do that, Stephen A. I think that's very unbecoming of you.
The passive aggressiveness on this show today.
You drive me out of my freaking mind.
When I was a kid, and my mother would yell out the window,
Steven. Brick, different show, Brick. Save that for General Hospital.
it ain't right.
I need to read a book, because Steven is stressing me out.
Why you wearing them glasses? I don't think you studious now.
If Deion takes the gig, then we're going to lose those Stephen A videos.
That was Stephen A. when he does the videos, the cowboy videos, and he does the turn to the camera. The LA Rams travel east to face the Philadelphia Eagles. Matthew Stafford looking for his second ring, while Jalen Hurts continues his quest for his first. Meanwhile, A.J. Brown only had one catch for 10 yards and was seen reading a book on the sideline in the win against the Packers last week. He was just trying to get his mind right, and I'm good with all of it. Kim, is there pressure for Jalen Hurts to put up big numbers in this game and show off his arm?
Not more pressure than he bets to get A.J. Brown involved in his game early. I think that's the pressure. And this screams, if that doesn't happen, A.J. Brown wants out in Philly. I think you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. It's a peaceful protest, so to speak. You know, we like that protest word in America. But when you are on the sideline, you're trying to get a message across. I don't know a lot of things, but one thing I do know is A.J. Brown is better than having one reception for 10 yards on any team in the National Football League. And that's what he's saying. Bro, I want to be involved. I want to play. I want the ball. I want the doggone be able to celebrate. And I want to help the team win. That's all A.J. Brown's saying. So that's where the pressure lies. Can we keep our stud receiver happy and involved in the game early? So that.
No disagreement there. RC, my only thing that I have to say is to regurgitate the same comments that I said a few days ago. The issue is why. Why were you on the sidelines reading the book? Because, again, it's not a crime. Whatever works for you, works for you. It just seemed that when you look at his numbers, and they're not commensurate with what we know this brother is capable of, because A.J. Brown's a flat-out stud, and we had heard reports earlier in the season about how things weren't great between him and Jalen Hurts and the offensive system, not on a personal level, we're just talking football, and that he probably want out after the season is over. When I saw him reading the book on the sideline, I saw a dude that was like, I got to do everything that I can to distract myself and maintain composure and keep from losing, because I'm not happy with this situation right now. That's what I got from it, but obviously we don't know. What about you, RC?
I'm an A.J. Brown fan. I see it totally different. A.J. Brown ain't stupid. A.J. Brown wasn't stupid when they asked him a question, what needs to improve, and he says passing. He's not stupid when he pulls out a book, an obvious shot of the camera so people could see him reading a book. And he doesn't have to say anything more than that, because A.J. Brown remembers when he said passing after the Carolina game. The next game was the Pittsburgh Steelers. And what did we hear Jalen Hurts say after that game? Oh, that's what y'all wanted to see?
That's how
Kellen Moore is going to get the message that he has to get the football early. Kellen Moore is going to think back to that Pittsburgh Steelers game and say, oh, if we got off coverage here, let's throw A.J. the hitch. If we got off coverage here, let's throw A.J. this in route just so he could touch it and get involved early. Now, we're still going to run this offense through Saquon Barkley, but we're going to make the Rams on the back end. If you're going to go one-on-one to stop this run, you're going to have to stop A.J. Brown's Devontae Smith and Dallas Goedert on the outside. A.J. Brown knew exactly what the hell he was doing. It wasn't so he could have some inner peace and so he could feel good about what's going on. It was so he could show you, I am frustrated with the way this is happening. And with all the people in the world who wish they could be in this position, locked into what's going on in the game, I'm going to read this book because you ain't involving me. Period, point blank.
I got played. I fell for it. Sucker right here then. I'm just saying.
You got played like
get over
what?
it.
No, I'm saying, because I thought he was really trying to get his mind right. And then you told me otherwise.
Come on, Molly. No.
I just told you. I said, guys,
Molly,
I'm a sucker.
every book I love and I've read, I can tell you the parts of it I love. I can tell you the parts about it that resonate with me. I don't have to open it back up. I can recite them.
Go ahead,
Just like A.J. Brown can.
All right, I'm getting yelled at that I have to go.
He wants Cam
He's
to go.
definitely recited his favorite book in the Bible, and you see that week in and week out. But I would say this, the only person that is not ashamed of what happened on the sideline is the author of the book and the publishing that went this week.
It's up like 53 million %.
Is Jalen Hurts ready to go out and beat him?
I think it makes the game a game. I think because Jalen Hurts he's risk averse. Like, he doesn't want to put the ball in harm's way. We talked about him not pushing the ball downfield, not giving his all-star wide receivers opportunities at the ball. You watch every other quarterback that has guys that we consider that dude, and A.J. Brown is that dude. And they give those guys chances to win. And if he isn't willing to put the ball in harm's way, then I don't know if they can win a Super Bowl. This game, we'll see if Saquon Barkley can go crazy. When somebody runs for 255 yards, I don't know if you got a game plan that you can stop or the personnel.
We got to stop using risk averse like it's leprosy.
It's not.
Right? Like, you know who was risk averse? Me. I didn't have a financial advisor until my 4th in the league because I was undrafted. I was basically putting my money underneath my mattress. And when I got one, I said, hey, man, don't you do nothing dangerous. I was like, I don't care how much money I make, but I sure don't want to lose none. And you're seeing that Jalen Hurts was playing that way because you had Saquon Barkley, because you could still win games playing that way. But when I hear Dan read some of those playoff stats, you know what it says to me? That means Jalen Hurts is capable. Right. He's capable of producing. And in order to stop Saquon Barkley, what is Chris Shula, the defense coordinator, is going to have to do? He's going to have to sell out. So that means you're going to tell me you're going to have Kobe Durant outside one-on-one against Devontae, right? Or you're going to have him one-on-one against A.J. Brown. You don't want that. Because now those 50-50 balls become 75-25 balls, 90-10 balls. And Jalen Hurts can absolutely win a football game if he has to, based on what it's going to take to stop Saquon Barkley.
I think physics takes over, guys. Saquon Barkley led the NFL 2.64 yards before contact, Green. The best in the NFL. If these two teams play 10 times, Saquon rushes for 100 yards 9 out of those 10 times. It's just one of these matchups that a team's strength is the other team.
And honestly, that one time, he must go pull a hamstring.
They can't stop him. You're saying they can't stop him.
No, you can't stop him.
You can't stop him.
You can stop anybody.
If he rushes for 100 yards, that's a win for the Rams.
Right.
He had 255. Right. And I'm pretty sure 140 of them came on 2 carries, right? So that's the trick. Is finding a way to limit the explosive game-wrecking run that he has, especially in the second half when they're trying to put games away. Again, easier said than done.
And if we wanted to nerd out, I'm sure me and Ryan can show guys what fronts that gives you a better chance. They can go to a reduced front. It's certain things that you can do, but you can't get in a heavy dose of being predictable. So you have to be able to stop the run and load the box in different ways.
Let me ask you a different question. I'm just going to paraphrase it, but Harry Douglas was sitting in that seat yesterday, and of course he's a wide receiver. We all understand how wide receivers think. But he said there is no game in which A.J. Brown should ever have 1 catch for 10 yards and 3 targets.
Yeah.
Like, regardless of the circumstances. And now, he's reading a book, which either is or isn't a big deal. I can't make up my mind.
Good for that
all week long.
Big week.
Worked out very well for him. I keep telling him, send our books to the Eagles. For crying out loud.
But inner excellence is the name of the book. Right. We need some outer excellence from A.J. Brown and the Eagles passing game if they're going to have playoff success. I'm not kidding. I mean, they're going to have to do something at some point.
Harry's right. Coach Parcells would always say, in consequential moments, it's players, not plays. And A.J. Brown does need to touch the ball more than once per game.
Well, I hear Tom Brady on these telecasts every single week and all the interviews that he does, and he's always saying, when you've got receivers, you want to get them a touch early. Get them into the
They will check out.
That's what I mean.
They will check out.
Good for him that he's sitting there reading a book. I mean, as opposed to yelling at people and saying, throw me the damn ball. I'm surprised he's not reading Keyshawn's book.
That's also on Kellen Moore. Right? Because think about when we watch Jamar Chase and the Cincinnati Bengals play, the throws behind the line of scrimmage where they have blockers out in front, or the quick out from the slot position, it's not necessarily that they're throwing him these big explosive plays or giving him opportunities to be dynamic. It's just giving him a chance to touch it.
Right.
And so if you're Kellen Moore, you have to dial some of those things up. If we get off coverage in cover 3, throw the hitch.
Yeah.
Give him a 5-yard stop. He'll catch it. He'll turn around and run.
That's a run.
Maybe he gets 8 yards. Maybe he gets 15. But at least he feels like he's involved.
In games like this, too, you want your receivers comfortable with how the ball feels that day, right? Because you don't want it to be a gotta-have catch, and he decides, do I try and hand catch it, or do I catch it off those frozen shoulder pads, and then you don't make the play. You want him to get a touch and see how the ball feels.
And also, too,
I
know Mike T has something. In A.J. Brown, to give A.J. Brown credit, the Dallas Goedert touchdown is partly because A.J. Brown throws a block on Dallas Goedert's man who is covering him. And that's huge because he stayed involved and did other things other than catch the ball.
Grady, what's interesting to me about this game is Sean McVay, the strategist, he knows these matchups. I'm sure he's going into this game saying, screw it. 4-down football, Stafford. We're just going to go. Our best chance to win is when we have the ball because we can't stop this team. And like Ross said, 100 yards is a win for the Rams. So if there's an upset in this game, it's going to be on the right arm.
Here's the problem. I hear you.
You can lose early.
The Eagles' defense is the best. I mean, they're probably the best unit on the field this whole weekend.
If the Rams win this game, it is going to be the most masterful coaching performance of Sean McVay's life. We're going to come in here and we're going to talk about the way that Sean McVay out-strategized, and made better decisions than Nick Sirianni. That's what it's going to be about. The way Chris Shula played defense against the Eagles, the way Sean McVay made sure the offense complemented them, the opportunities they took to go for it on 4th down to keep the ball away from Jalen Hurts. It's all going to be about the way they coach and the way that number 9 plays.
That's what I love about this round. Because it's rematches, right? So you use what they know about you against you, right? It's all about knowing your tendencies and changing your tendencies in pivotal moments. It's about, can you pick up that 4th down, right? When we talk about when we played New England, they expected us to be man-to-man all the time. What we did is we simulated man-to-man. We went with them in motion, but it was a zone, and it depended on where you end up. It's masterful, and this is when you separate the coaches, the good from the great in this round.
Yeah, I see one Los Angeles Rams logo on my screen. That's one more than I was expecting. Look, you give them a chance.
Look at his suit jacket.
Coach and quarterback.
Right. Frostbite.
Coach and quarterback. I think they have an advantage in those 2 key spots. And look, the first game they got run all over by Saquon Barkley.